Hello, some friends, and we have a new LP house in the online store. It is called the Bellflower Bottom. It is on sale for 699 LP. Now, from the picture, this house looks really, really cute. So I decided to buy it because I thought it may be worth my while to do a remodel on. And plus, I got to look at the preview, and the inventory looks spectacular. So we're going to have a look at this and have a look at the layout and the inventory and see if this is worth the LP or if it's not. Now, as usual, the first house is free once you buy the house in the online store for LP. So after the free house, each house, I think it depends on your town value. I could be wrong, but for my town value, it runs for over 18 million sim coins, it looks like. That is expensive, very expensive. And so is the 699 LP. But is it worth the value? That's what we are going to have a look at. So here is the original house. Um, it looks very nice on the outside. The appearance is very nice. I do see that you are getting the windows and the doors, which were from an influencer island, and then the windows, I believe, are in an online pack. And of course, you do get all of the plants outside. So once you come in, you see a basement. You are getting the pool table and the motorcycle wall hanging, and then these shelves. I don't know what's in them because, like, I couldn't see it. And then you're getting empty rooms. So off the bat, no. But here is the first floor. You do get that stairway, which is very nice, and you do get that couch and these rugs. I think they're called the painterly rugs. These doorways in here are from, I believe, an influencer island, and you're getting those wall hangings with the circles, and then the mid-century modern fireplace, and then the slatted blinds. You're getting that couch and these dining chairs, and I think that table is from the wedding event, maybe. And then you're getting, this TV, which I forget what event that's from. And then you're getting a table in the hallway, that armoire, and then that it looks like a bench. So that's pretty nice, and also that plant. That doorway that leads into the office, you're getting that. And then you're getting some of the garage items, it looks like. And then in the kitchen, you can see what you got there, the countertops, and then the mid-century modern rug, and you're getting that refrigerator, that stove, and that range hood. And then that sink. I didn't have that sink in my inventory. And of course the windows. I think I said that already though. And then you're getting the stackable washer and dryer, and then everything else that is in that laundry room. So the filing cabinets are in the office, and it looks like the laundry room. I think that's what's in the laundry room. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going fast here. And then you're getting the wall hanging in the office, and then the two white sofa chairs. And then in the backyard, you're getting the winter shrubs that sandbox and the toddler slide, and then the trees you're getting. The garden is nice. I thought it was a little bit crowded, but I do like the fact that you do get the winter shrubs. I didn't have those in my inventory, so I was very glad to have those. And then in this room over here, you can kind of see what's in there. If I show it, I'm sorry. But you're getting that couch, the wall hangings, the fireplace, and it looks like a piano or an organ. So that's pretty nice, and then of course you do get, the countertops and the wall lamp. So off the bat, you're getting quite a bit of inventory in this house. The layout of the first floor is nice. I liked it. Um, I thought that this would be fun to work with. And then here is the upstairs. You're getting that twin bed, that desk. There's quite a bit of inventory up in here. You're getting the desk in this little office, the art easels you're getting. Um, you're getting that king size bed with the headboard. That's pretty nice. And then the chair like up in the balcony, you're getting that. You're getting that wardrobe and that rug in the first bedroom. Um, and then of course the wall hangings you're getting. And then here's the bathroom. You're getting everything in there. So there's a little table in there. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. But you're getting the bathroom shelves. I know there's no sink. You're getting that sink. And then here is a little living area. You're getting that couch, the mid-century modern fireplace. You're getting the filing cabinets, which is very nice. Those can be used for a lot of things. And then you're getting, in this bathroom, the sink and the bathtub. And then in this bedroom of the bed, which is from the fruit thing, you're getting the rock climbing wall for toddlers. That's very nice. You're getting that sofa, that train, the trying to tell what that is. Is that a bookshelf? A train thing? It's a toddler item. So you're getting some of the toddler items. And then it looks like you're getting that shelf. I don't know where that's from. That's a desk. It looks like the mid-century modern, but maybe I'm wrong. So you're getting some nice inventory in this house. This house, if you're a brand new player and you have the LP, this house is a really good investment. If you have the LP. And the layout of this house is very nice as well. I do like that. Even if you're an older player, this house is still a good value because there's rare items. And then here is the house emptied out. I ended up changing the backyard completely, which you'll see. Um, but I took everything out and I wanted you to get a good look at the layout of the rooms. So here is the first floor completely emptied out. It kind of gives you an idea, like of where to place things or what you would like to do with the space. So that's why I included the empty house. But it did help me to see what I wanted to do with the space. And then here is my remodel. I use the Italian villa items, the doors, and the, again, the windows. I think it's called the seaside doors and the windows. And then I used the oak window up there, which you can see. And then, as you can see, I completely changed up the backyard. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it more simple and still include some plants. And I did use a little bit of the winter shrubs. And I like how you're able to overlap these shrubs with trees and everything else. And then I used wall plants on the outside. So in this basement, I just have, like a weather machine. And then here is the first floor. I use I think it's called the painterly rug. I think that's what it's called. And then I used the seaside small rug, like at the doorways. And then I included the wall hanging. And then I made the garage into a family room. And then I had made the other room into an office. And these pine doorways were unlocked at level 64. I'm not at that level. I just unlocked it with LP. So this couch in the family room, I got in an online pack. And I used that fireplace. I don't know where that's from. And then I used some countertops. And I placed like a TV and a plant there. And then here is the office. I used that wall hanging. I don't know where that's from. And then the cabin bookshelves. I also used the filing cabinet. And then that printer on the desk and that book, the decor on the desk, I bought in an online pack. And then here is the dining room. I used the seaside table and chairs. And then I had hung up some shelves there on the wall. I don't know where those are from. And then the countertops are seaside. And then that fireplace was unlocked at level 64, I want to say. And then in the smaller, narrow room, I have the pantry shelves, some countertops. And then in the kitchen, I bought that fridge and an online pack. And then, and then the countertops are the seaside, the countertops. These stools were called the elegant white stools. I don't know what event they're from. And then here is, the backyard. I made it very simple. I included a little area for gardening. And then I have some shrubs and then these white fences I got in an architect home. I don't know what pack they're from. And then I included the winter shrubs and then some trees and then a wagon wheel. And then here is this back room. I placed the pizza oven, on the beige countertops, and then a wedding bar in that little room. And then here is the room with the stairway. I used the rustic stairway, I think it's called. And then that table with the decoration. And then here is the upstairs. I placed those oak shelves at the end. And then here's the hallway. It's narrow, but I'm trying to show you the best I can. I used that little table and I placed a plant on there. And then, of course, the wall hangings. These doorways, the white arch doorways, I don't remember where they're from. And then, of course, I used a wall hanging. And then here is the laundry room. This was the art room in the original house, and that washer and dryer, I want to say, is from the cottage event, and then the countertops, I forget where those are from. And then here is the first bedroom I'm showing. I used that bed and then that desk and then the silver wardrobes. And then here is the other bedroom with the Novu bed. And then the nightstands, the Novu, the wardrobe, and then of course the little desk. And then here is the bathroom. I use the industrial white sink, like the countertops. And then that bronze toilet. And then I hung a mirror and a wall painting above the bathtub. Here is a blue bed, and that is unlocked at level 64, I want to say. And then I use the Memphis teal lamp. That's really cute. I really like it. And then I use the closet items, and then there's a desk in there. And then here is this little room. It was a bathroom in the original build. The bunk bed I got out of an LP house or an architect home. And then I used the Cafe Grande shelf. And then these are some closet items from, I want to say, the Captivating Coast event. And then here is this bedroom. The closet items are from the Captivating Coast. I forget where the bed came from. And then I included a little desk like I did in the bedroom. So that is the upstairs. And I'm really liking how this looks. I tried my best with it, and I hope you all enjoyed.